students. Today I wish to discuss some model questions which cover interaction with government and various business organizations in relation to question number 2 in your business studies paper 2. Right, let's move to the question number 1. Question number 1, Roman number 1. Explain economic objectives of a government. There are different economic objectives with a government. Full employment, fair income distribution, economic growth and development, economic stability, economic efficiency, fair international trade are different economic objectives that that a government going to be achieved. Now we have to explain those economic objectives in this question. Full employment means utilizing all the resources in the economy at the production activities and providing employment opportunities for the people who are willing to do a job. If we take economic growth and development, economic growth means continuous increase of gross domestic production. Development means increase of human and social indexes. Fair income distribution means dividing total output of the country, that means GDP, among the population of the country equally. Economic stability, when we talking about economic stability, we can see there are two aspects in economic stability. First one is internal stability and the second one is external stability. Internal stability means maintaining constant or stable price level in the economy. That means there shouldn't be any inflation or deflation situation in the economy. The second part is external stability, that means maintaining constant price level, constant foreign exchange rate. Economic efficiency, here also the same. There are two aspects in economic efficiency. First one is production efficiency and the second one is allocation efficiency. Production efficiency means taking maximum output by using a limited input. Allocation efficiency means utilizing resources for the most suitable activities in the economy. When we talk about favorable international trade, that means carrying out foreign trade transactions without having without creating a balance of payment crisis. So you have to mention, name and explain 4 economic objectives to get 4 marks. 1 mark into 4 equals 4 marks. Problem number 2 of the question number 1. What contributions are provided by private sector businesses in achieving the economic objectives of the government? To provide a successful answer for this question, we can match contribution of businesses with various economic objectives of the government. I have shown this using a table, and we can match these economic objectives with contribution of businesses. To achieve economic full employment objective of the government, a business can contribute by providing employment opportunities and by utilizing local resources in their production activities. To ensure economic growth and development, a business can contribute by adding its output to the GDP, and by protecting environment, a business can contribute for the sustainable development of the country. By paying due tax on time, a business can contribute for the fair income distribution. Because government uses tax rupees to provide welfare facilities for needy people. By following rules and regulations and policies implemented by the government, a business can contribute for the economic stability. If a business follow certified prices and the relevant policies implemented by the government, it's a help to achieve economic stability of the government. To achieve economic efficiency of the government, private sector businesses can provide different innovations in order to reduce cost as well as to reduce wastage. To achieve favorable international trade to the government, private sector businesses can earn foreign exchange by exporting goods for the foreign countries. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 1, Roman number 3. Government plays a vital role in influencing for the activities of private sector businesses. Explain. 4 marks. To get 4 marks, you have to explain 4 roles which are played by the private sector businesses, played by the government to influence private sector business activities. There are several activities are played by the government, such as a customer, as a competitor, as a regulator, as a taxation agent, as a policymaker, as a rules and regulations implementer, as an incentive provider, and as an infrastructure provider. As a customer, government purchases lot of goods and services from private sector businesses. As an example, furnitures, security services, sanitary services are purchased by the government organization from private sector businesses. As a competitor, government carries out competitive service with the private sector business. If you take examples, for newspapers, Lake House newspapers are government sector business. Vijaya newspapers belong to private sector. Television channels, ITN and Jatika Rupawahini belongs to government sector. Serials Swarnawahini, those TV channels belong to private sector. As a regulator, government carries out its activities as a supervisory body. Most of private sector business activities are controlled by a certain government organization. As an example, Central Bank of Sri Lanka monitors the activities of commercial bank activities of the commercial banks. As a taxation agent, government collects different types of taxes from private sector businesses. Corporate taxes are collected from incorporated companies. Value-added tax collected from goods and services. Assessment tax collected from the property value of the businesses. As a policymaker, government maintains fiscal policy and monetary policy in order to control economic activities of the country. As a rules and regulation implementer, government passes different types of laws using parliament, through the parliament, in order to protect consumers, to protect businesses, to protect environment. Through the laws implemented by the government, consumers are protected from trade malpractices. Businesses are protected from other businesses from their anti-competitive practices, and protects environment from misconducts of businesses. As an incentive provider, government provides different services, consultancy services, technological services, market facilities, financial facilities for the smooth run of business activities, as well as to influence or motivate private sector businesses. As an infrastructure provider, government provides different types of services like electricity, transportation, sanitary facilities, telecommunication, harbour facilities, for the smooth run of business activities. So these are the different ways a government influence for the private sector business activities by playing different roles. Next question. Classify fiscal policy instrument. Fiscal policy basically identified as budget policy. We know in a budget there are two main aspects, income and expenditure. In government fiscal policy instrument, when classifying government fiscal policy instrument, we can divide it into two parts as government income and government expenditure. Government income can be divided into two parts as tax income and non-tax income. Tax income we can divide again into two parts as direct tax and indirect tax. And I have given some examples for non-tax income: exam fee, fine, registration fee, license fee. Government expenditure we can divide it again two parts as recurrent expenditure and capital expenditure. Recurrent expenditure mean expenses incurred by the government to carry out day-to-day business, day-to-day government activities, and capital expenditure means expenses incurred for long-term development projects. Right, let's move on to the next question. Name and explain policy interest rate. There are four policy interest rates. First one is bank rate, second one is standing deposit facility rate, third one standing lending facility rate, fourth one is statutory reserve rate or statutory reserve requirement. Bank rate. This is the interest rate charged by CBSL from commercial banks for the loans granted to meet its liquidity problems as the lender of the last resort. Remember keywords: interest charged, liquidity problems, and lender of the last resort. So these keywords should be mentioned in your answer. Standing deposit facility rate. This is the interest rate given by CBSL to commercial banks for the money deposited or money invested on government securities or securities issued by, after purchasing securities issued by CBSL, commercial banks purchase them. On that investment, CBSL give this rate for that investment. Standing lending facility rate. This is the interest rate charged by CBSL from commercial banks for the loans granted to commercial banks by keeping government securities as collateral. So this one is charged. Bank rate is charged. Standing deposit facility rate given. Standing lending facility rate charged. Next one is statutory reserve requirement. This is the amount of deposit that commercial bank must maintain in CBSL relevant to deposits they hold according to the accepted deposit by commercial banks. To get 4 marks, first you have to name 4 policy interest rate, half a mark into 4, 2 marks, and explaining those policy interest rate, half a mark into 4, 2 marks. Right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 2, Roman number 1. Name 4 malpractices and mention the consumer rights that have been violated in each event. Here I have mentioned some trade malpractices and violated consumer right in respect to that mentioned trade malpractice. Change in details in a label. That means it violated getting information, the right of getting information, that is right to be informed. Applying conditions in selling. It's a barrier for the selection of goods according to the customer wish. Right to choose is violated through that malpractice. Next one is hiding stocks. It creates some artificial shortage. Then consumers may not have a time or may not have a chance to select goods to fulfill his needs and wants, so it violated right to fulfill basic need. Adding inferior materials. Sometimes this inferior material may cause damage for their health condition, so it violated the right to be safe. Next one, not disposing waste properly. That means a business have disposed its waste here and there in the environment, so it violated the right to live in a healthy environment. To get 4 marks, you have to mention 4 trade malpractices, half a mark into 4, 2 marks, and you have to mention consumer right violated through that trade malpractice, half a mark into 4, 2 marks. Let's move on to the next question. Roman number 2 of the question number 2. Name and explain internationally accepted consumer responsibilities. There are 5 internationally accepted consumer responsibilities: critical awareness, active participation, social concern, environmental awareness, and cooperation. So what is critical awareness? Consumers should have a good knowledge to select a suitable goods for their health. Sometimes consumers may select goods which are hazardous for his life. So consumers should have a correct knowledge to select goods which are suitable for his health. The second one is active participation. This means consumers should be active, or just after seeing a trade malpractice, that should be informed to the relevant parties. It is also a consumer responsibility. Third one is social concern. That means the consumption pattern of the consumer should not be harmful to the environment, should not be harmful to the where he live, to the outside people. Environmental awareness, that means consumption pattern of the consumer should not be harmful to the natural environment. And the cooperation mean consumers should get together to avoid trade malpractices. Right. To get 4 marks for this question, you have to mention 4 consumer responsibilities, half a mark into 4, 2 marks, and you have to explain those named consumer responsibilities, half a mark into 4. For that explanation equals 2 marks altogether, 4 marks. Problem number 3, question number 2. What factors to be considered by a manufacturer in order to satisfy his consumer while facing the existing competition? In this question, you should be you have to think about consumer protection as well as how to face competition. The businessman should think about consumer protection as well as prevailing competition. He should face the competition by protecting consumer rights and his satisfaction. I have given 8 points for this. Quality of the product. Manufacturer or trader should think about quality of his product in order to satisfy his customers as well as to face competition. Adding more benefits. Consumers keen about benefits. Additional benefits can be enjoyed through the product, so it is easy to compete with his competitors as well as to increase customer satisfaction. Adding more features, different benefits can be added. If you take as an example, if you take a mobile phone, we consider about different features included in that mobile phone. So if we add more features, we can satisfy customers as well as we can face competition. Producing goods in accordance with standards, that means we can produce quality goods. By producing quality goods, can compete with competitors as well as can ensure your customer satisfaction. Improving the product continuously, that means updating the product according to the environmental changes. Charging an affordable price. So price is very important factor which decide a purchase. So when assign a price, that should be a fair or affordable price for the consumer. Giving discounts and allowances, consumers always try to enjoy discounts as well as allowances. Wide distribution means making easy access to the products, goods and services offered by the manufacturer or the trader. Providing true information, that means explaining merits as well as demerits which are related to the product. So it enhances consumer satisfaction as well as it is easy to compete with his competitors. Right, let's move on to the next question. Roman number 4, question number 2. What benefits can be enjoyed by consumers and manufacturers who use SLS certification? In this question, we have divided it into two parts. When answering question, for this question, you have to divide this question into two parts as benefits to manufacturers and benefits to consumers. It provides these benefits to manufacturers, easy to control the production process, enhancing goodwill through increased quality, can minimize wastage, ability to face competition successfully, increasing sales. SL certification always provide a best method of producing a good. So it is very easy to control the production process of the manufacturer. By providing goods under SLS mark, it's a silent advertisement. So, and it increases goodwill of the manufacturer, and by following guidelines given in SLS scheme can increase the quality of the product. Next one, can minimize wastage. By following standards, a business can minimize cost as well as wastage. Ability to face competition successfully. Manufacturer can use SLS mark as a marketing tool. Increase in sales, always consumers try to purchase quality products and they concern about standard certification. So if there is SLS certification, manufacturer can increase his sales. To consumer, can enjoy value for the money paid, that means satisfaction. Easy to select. Consumer can select goods which have SLS certification. Having a third party guarantee, it gives a protection to the consumer. The protection has been assured by another institution, that is SLS. Increasing the living standard by consuming quality goods, that means by consuming quality goods can increase your living standard or quality of life. Right, let's move to question number Roman number 5 of question number 2. State the ways how the Sri Lanka Standard Institute support to local trade and foreign trade. You know, there are different functions are performed by Sri Lanka Sri Lanka standard institutions, so we can divide those functions as the way of support into local trade and way of support into foreign trade. Ability to minimize wastage and can increase productivity by giving the best method of doing or producing something. SLS mark can ability to minimize wastage and can increase productivity. By following guidelines in SLS certification, traders or manufacturers can minimize wastage as well as cost and increase the productivity, and can minimize customer complaints. Always SLS, the products with SLS mark are quality products, so can minimize customer complaints because they are quality products. Ability to expand market towards government organizations since government purchase products with SLS mark. You know, government always try to purchase the quality goods. In Sri Lanka, they always try to purchase goods with SLS mark. So can expand the market towards the public sector organizations. Increase in goodwill of the business by selling quality goods with SLS mark can increase their image. Foreign trade. Ability to succeed in international trade through obtaining ISO certification. ISO certification mark scheme is implemented by Sri Lanka Standard Institution in Sri Lanka. So, by following those guidelines can compete with foreign market. Conducting free export investigation before exporting goods for the foreign countries. SLS, Sri Lanka Standard Institution, examine the quality of those products. Conducting import investigation, here also the same. Sri Lanka Standard Institution examine the quality of the product before importing goods to the country. Examination of seafood prepared for export. This is also done by Sri Lanka Standard Institution in order to ensure the quality of exported fisheries items. Right. Let's move to the question number 3. Question number 3, Roman number 1, A. What are the instances in which circumstantial forces matter in effective implementation of sole proprietorship business model? That means, in which situations you are desired to start up a sole proprietorship business. If you have a less capital, you can start a sole proprietorship business, because to start up other type of business models, you need a more capital. By using less capital, you can start a sole proprietorship business, and through your commitment, you can grow your business. Requirement of working independently. If you wish to work according to your schedules, it is very important to start up a sole proprietorship business. Next one is willingness of not sharing profit with others or enjoying profit alone. If you need to enjoy profit alone, and if you not wish to share your profit with others, you can start up a sole proprietorship business. And hesitating to share the responsibilities with others, in these situations also the same. If you not willing to share the responsibilities with other person, you can start a sole proprietorship business. Part B. What are the situations a sole proprietorship business should be registered? We know registration is not compulsory for sole proprietorship business if the business name consists with true and actual name of the businessman. It is compulsory when the business name consists with an artificial name, or if it does not show the true and actual name of the owner, that should be registered. What application forms shall be obtained from the Divisional Secretariat Office to register the sole proprietorship? There are two types of application forms how to be taken. First one is application form in relation to registration of the sole proprietorship business, and the second one is application form to get a certificate from the Grama Seva Niladhari of the respective area. Right, let's move to the next question. Roman number 3. Question number 3, Roman number 2. There are less legal influence with a sole proprietorship business, but sole proprietorship should be committed to some legal obligations. Explain. Sole proprietorship businesses doesn't have a legal personality, but there are some legal obligations around a sole proprietorship business. First one, his business should be registered if it is conducted using an artificial name. Registration is not compulsory, but it should be registered if it is conducted with an artificial name. It's a legal requirement. It is declared in Business Names Ordinance number 6 of 1918. Owner should bear the unlimited liability. That means at the bankruptcy, or if the business money is not sufficient to settle the external liabilities of the business, he should sacrifice his personal properties to settle the external liabilities of the business. Owner should use his personal name for the legal affairs related to sole proprietorship business. There is no legal personality. Therefore, sue and to be sued should be done by the owner's name. Owner should pay relevant taxes by his personal name. As the sole proprietorship business is not a legal person, owner should have to pay due taxes in his personal name. Right, let's move to the next question. What legal requirements shall be completed by a sole proprietorship at the registration? Right. Registration is not compulsory, but when it is needed to register this business, these legal restrictions have to be followed. It is not compulsory if the business uses owner's full name as its business name. Not compulsory, but if the business uses another name or artificial name, that should be registered. Second one, that registration should be done within 14 days from the commencement, and should forward duty-filled application form and certificate taken from Grama Seva Niladhari and have to pay due fee, and then these are related with Business Names Ordinance number 6 of 1918. You have to mention these 4 points to get 2 marks. Let's move on to the next question. State limitations of a sole proprietorship business. There are some limitations in sole proprietorship business model. Less source of capital. That means owner money, owner savings and money taken from relatives are the only sources that can be used as capital of sole proprietorship business. Independent decisions may not correct always. Sometimes the decisions taken by the owner may fail. Losses have to bond alone. So there is no any partners or owners, he has to bond the losses alone. Unlimited liability, that means he has to sacrifice his personal properties to settle the external liabilities of the business. No legal personality. Due to this reason, owners should have to appear in front of the law by his personal name for the business matters. No going concern or no perpetual succession, that means death of the owner, bankruptcy of the owner or insane of the owner will be a reason to shut down or liquidate the business. Right? You have to mention 4 points to get 2 marks for this question. Question number 3, Roman number 4. Explain the following concepts in relation to sole proprietorship. Legal personality. Legal personality means ability to appear in front of the law. But for sole proprietorship, there is no legal personality, so sue and to be sued should be done by the owner's name. Going liability, there's an unlimited liability, that means owner has to sacrifice his personal properties to settle external liabilities of the business. Going concern, no going concern, death of the owner, bankruptcy of the owner, insane of the owner will be a reason to liquidate the business. Tax payment, as there is no legal personality, owner has to use his personal name when paying taxes. Taxes cannot be paid by the business name. Right. Let's move to the next question. Mention powerful features of partnership than sole proprietorship. Right. We can use partnership business model to avoid limitations of sole proprietorship business. I have taken 4 criteria to show the powerfulness of partnerships than sole proprietorship. In sole proprietorship, capital is invested by one person, but in partnership, there are 2 to 20 partners to invest capital. In sole proprietorships, decisions are taken only by the owner. There is an independent decision making, so those decisions may not correct always. But in partnership, there is a collective decision making. Different point of views, different ideas can be collected and can be viewed when making a correct decision. In sole proprietorship, only the owner's skills are utilized, but in partnerships, different skills of partners can be utilized. It's a very good significant feature in a partnership business. Risk. In sole proprietorship, owner has to bear the risk alone, but in partnerships, the risk can be shared among the partners of the business. So you have to show these 4 criteria, 4 things to get 4 marks. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 4, Roman number 1A. Mention specific characteristics of a partnership. Partnership business model is it's a different type of business organization than other businesses due to these reasons. There are 2 to 20 partners and there's an agreement. It may be oral one, written one, or an implied one. Having a business, they have to conduct a business activity with a profit motive. If there is no that profit motive intention, it is treated as an association. Mutual agency. all the partners are principals as well as agents of other partners. So these are the basic features in a partnership business. Right, let's move on to the next question. Explain legal provisions related to number of partners in a partnership business. In your syllabus, there are some points have been given regarding this provision. 2 or more partners according to the partnership ordinance. 2 to 20 partners, it is stated in the Companies Act number 7 of 2007. In professional partnership, there should be minimum 2 partners and there is no limit for the maximum number of partners. If we consider about limited partnership, there should be at least 1 partner whose liability is limited. Right. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 4, Roman number 2A. What's a partnership deed and why it is important? What facts are included in a partnership deed? Partnership deed means written agreement signed by all the partners. By having a written agreement or partnership deed, it minimizes conflicts between partners. It ensures the ability of solving any disagreement between the partners. These are the factors included in a partnership deed. First one, basic information about the business. That means nature of the business, name of the business, and name and addresses of the partners. Details about the investment of capital, the amount the partners have introduced as capital, share in profit or loss, profit sharing ratio, objectives, limitations of partners' drawings, interest of capital and drawings, conditions related to dissolution, conditions on introducing additional capital, actions to be taken in admission of a new partner, retirement of an existing partner or death of a partner. You have to mention at least 4 points to get 2 marks. Roman number 3, question number 4. Mention the provisions included in the section 24 in the partnership ordinance in relation to the followings. You are given 8 incidents and you have to apply these incidents to the section 24 of the partnership ordinance. First one, sharing profit and losses. In section 24, it says profit and losses should be shared equally. Second one, expenses incurred personally for the partnership. A partner can reimburse that expenses incurred for the business activities in the partnership. Third one, admitting a new partner. When admitting a new partner, there should be a consent of all the partners, otherwise a new partner cannot be admitted. Interest on capital. Section 24 says no interest on capital invested. Interest on loans provided, minimum 5% interest can be given for the loans in addition to the capital provided by the partners. Retirement of a partner, that can be done according to the wish of the partner, but he should not be expelled from the partnership business. Next one, taking decisions. When taking general decisions, there should be consent of majority's consent should be there, but decisions which are related to change in the organization structure and objectives of the partnership, there should be a consent of all the partners. Salaries for partners, no salaries for the management activities conducted by the partners. These are included in the section 24 of the partnership ordinance, but this can be changed according to the agreement between partners. Right, let's move on to the next question. partnerships are popular among service supplying businesses. Do you agree with this statement? So, yes, it's correct. Half a mark for that. Reason is ability to utilize different skills of partners, and you have to mention an example. Most of professional services are provided as partnership. Example, chartered accountants and lawyers have organized as partnerships. Part B, explain mutual agency in partnership. Mutual agency means each partner is agent as well as principal of other partners. Let's move on to question number 4, Roman number 5. Give examples for laws related to partnerships and its importance. So I have used a table to give this information. Partnership Ordinance 1890. This gives general information or general facts related to partnership. Companies Act number 7 of 2007. This says there should be minimum 2 and maximum 20 partners. Fraud Prevention Ordinance 1840. If the initial capital exceeds more than 1000 rupees, there should be a written agreement. Business Names Ordinance number 6 of 1918. This is related to registration of partnership business. And the last one is Garner versus Murray Court decisions. It says the method of sharing liability portion of a bankrupted partner. You have to name 4 legal sources. Half a mark into 4 equals 2, and you have to explain its importance. Half a mark into 4, 2 marks, altogether 4 marks. Question number 5, Roman number 1A. An incorporated company can use its legal personality in performing different activities. Give examples. That means a company can use its name in different events. These are the examples. Can sue or to be sued under the company name. Second one, can enter into agreements under the company name. Can pay taxes under the company name. Next one, can appoint agents on behalf of the company name. Last one, can formulate rules and affecting internal activities of the company. So, we know company is a legal person. By using its business name, an incorporated company can perform these activities. So, you have to mention 4 examples to get 2 marks for this question. Let's move on to the next part of this question. Part B. What advantages can be enjoyed by the investors of an incorporated company? The main thing is profit from dividend from the profit of the year. According to the management decisions, can enjoy dividend by the shareholders or investors. Ability to appointing to the director board using voting power. We know shareholders have voting right according to the shares purchased. So, by using their voting power, they can be appointed as a director of the company. Selling shares and can enjoy capital gains. By selling shares, then the higher price from the purchase price, they can enjoy capital gain. Can get benefit at right issue and bonus issue. Shareholder can increase their number of shares by enjoying the benefits given at the right issue and bonus issue. Should not appear in front of the law in his personal name due to legal personality. So, it's an advantage for the investor. He should not appear by his personal name for the legal matters. Company name is used. Investor should not sacrifice his personal wealth at the bankruptcy of the company by means of limited liability. With the limited liability of the incorporated company, his liability is limited to capital invested. It will not goes towards the personal properties of the investor. Right, let's move on to the next question. Roman number 2. Explain the followings. Articles of association. So this is the main document that must be submitted at the incorporation of the company. This is also known as internal rule book. It includes rights and duties of the partners, internal control system, as well as objectives of the company. The second document is prospectus. This is the document which invites the general public to purchase shares and debentures of the company. Minimum subscription, that means minimum cash amount that should be collected at a share issue. Share warrant. This is a document issued by a company assuring the right to purchase the shares at a specific price in future. So this is related with future prices of the shares at the share issue. Right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 5, Roman number 3. What are the advantages and disadvantages of a private limited company than a partnership? So these are the significant features of incorporated private limited company than a partnership. So these advantages can be seen in a private limited company. Legal personality, perpetual succession, can enjoy various tax relief, and there's a limited liability, can raise more capital than partnerships, and having social acceptance than partnership because of legal personality. And these disadvantages can be noticed in private limited companies. More legal restrictions in starting, maintaining and winding up. This is a legal person, so there's a very big amount of rules and regulations around a private limited company. Delays in decision making. Here there's a director board, so decision making will be slow. Making and administrative expenses, increase in administrative expenses. Accounting and auditing is compulsory in private limited or incorporated companies, so there's additional cost for auditing. Lack of skillful management, because in private limited companies most of management members represent the family members, so there may be some errors in making decisions. Right, let's move to the next question. Question number 5, Roman number 4. Explain common limitations of a private limited company which hinders to its progress. First one, shares and debentures are issued secretly. It is prohibited to issue shares and debentures publicly, so it is difficult to expand the ownership beyond the family members or non-people. Transferring of shares has been restricted through the articles of association. So due to this reason, the ownership remains within a certain group of people. Insolvency test is not concerned in declaring dividends. Due to this reason, there may be some liquidity problems. Minimum 1 and maximum 50 members. Due to this reason, more capital cannot be raised. So you have to mention 4 reasons, half a mark into 4, 2 marks, and you have to explain that given fact, half a mark into 4, 2 marks. Let's move on to the next question. Compare and contrast private limited companies and public limited companies using its special features. Here, compare mean give similarities, contrast mean give differences. These similarities can be noticed in private limited companies and public limited companies. Both should be registered under the Companies Act number 7 of 2007, and both companies have legal personality and having limited liability, both have continuous existence, and both can be started by a single person. Minimum member requirement is 1 for both these companies. You have to mention 4 facts to get 2 marks for this. These are the differences between private limited companies and public limited companies. In private limited companies, there are minimum 1 and maximum 50 shareholders. But in public limited companies, minimum 1, the maximum amount of members or shareholders are unlimited. Insolvency test is not compulsory when declaring dividend in private limited companies, but it is a compulsory requirement for public limited companies. When writing company name, the type of the company should be written with the private limited company, but it should not be mentioned with the public limited companies. There is 1 director in private limited company, but there are 2 directors in public limited companies. These are the basic differences in between private limited companies and public limited companies. Question number 6. Although there are common features between limited companies and cooperative societies, there are inherent characteristics of cooperative societies through this statement. So we have to take some features to compare limited companies and cooperative societies and highlight the inherent characteristics of cooperative societies. If we take voting right, in limited companies, the voting right is attached with the number of shares with a shareholders. But in cooperative societies, the number of shares purchased is not a material fact. Each member possesses a 1 vote. That is democratic member control. Profit sharing. In limited companies, profit is shared according to the profitability of the year, but in cooperatives, profit is not shared, but in some instances, benefits are given according to the member economic participation. That means according to the value of transactions made by each member. Internal control. This is done by articles of association, which is prepared by the promoters. In cooperative societies, it is done by using the interim constitution or by statute, which is based on globally accepted cooperative principles. Share price in limited companies, it varies according to different circumstances, but in cooperative societies, there's a stable share price, that is 100 rupees. Customers in limited companies varies, but owners or the members are the customers in cooperative societies. Registration, that should be done according to the Companies Act number 7 of 2007 in relation to limited companies, but in cooperative societies, that should be done under the Cooperative Societies Act number 5 of 1972. Transferability of shares cannot be transferred, can be transferred in limited companies, but it cannot be transferred in cooperative societies. You have to show 1 pair, comparing pair to get 1 mark, and you have to mention 4 facts to get 4 marks. Question number 6, Roman number 2. Give some suggestions to develop a cooperative lifestyle in Sri Lanka. 2 marks. This means how to popular cooperative societies in Sri Lanka. Increase in benefits. By increase in benefits can collect more members towards cooperative societies. Making people aware about cooperative lifestyle. There is no any cooperative education in Sri Lanka today, so increasing such education in order to can increase such education in order to collect more members around cooperative societies. Update in cooperative policies. These are imposed for long period ago, so that should be updated according to the present situation. Increasing the quality of goods and services, giving more quality goods and offering more quality goods by the cooperative societies can attract more customers and members towards it. Minimizing political influences towards cooperatives. It has mentioned in the cooperative policies, but we cannot see in the real world, but that should be minimized. Getting help in hand from government to develop cooperative movement and maintaining good relationships with foreign cooperative organizations. By means of that can update new technological methods throughout the cooperative movement. You have to mention 4 reasons, 4 facts to get 2 marks for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 6, Roman number 2b. Explain the followings in relation to cooperative societies. Democratic member control. This means accepting the majority's view. That can be done by granting 1 vote for 1 person. Member economic participation. Members receive a profit based on the value of transactions made by each member. Right. Next question. Roman number 3 of question number 6. What advantages and disadvantages can be enjoyed by purchasing a franchise business? Franchise business. Easy to capture the market due to well-known brand name. That means this is already well-known business and reputed business, so easy to enter into the market. Can obtain specialized knowledge and training from the franchisor. Franchisor always update franchisee's knowledge and gives training to make a quality service. Can share the advertising cost with the franchisor. Franchisor contribute for the advertising expenses of the franchisee. Less promotion cost due to well-known brand name. This is already reputed business, so therefore can reduce promotional cost of the franchisee. Less payback period of the money invested due to expanded market. This should not be started from the 0 level. Already started business, already well-known business all over the world, so can increase sales and can reduce its payback period. These are the disadvantages of purchasing a franchise business. Higher amount of loyalty has to be paid. As it is a reputed business, a high amount of royalty has to be paid by the franchisee. Franchisee has no complete independence in performing business activities. That means franchisees should follow the guidelines and policies implemented by the franchisee. Franchisor can cancel the agreement when it is required. According to the wish of the franchisor, he can stop his agreement between franchisee. Franchisor is not responsible for the losses incurred by the franchisee. Earning profit is a responsibility of the franchisee. According to his talents, he can earn more profit. So it is not a liability of the, it is not a task of the franchisor. Franchisee never gets the ownership of the business. Franchise business belongs to the franchisor, so he will not give his ownership to the franchisee. Right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 6, Roman number 4A, state corporation can be started based on a Common Parliament Act or a Special Parliament Act. Explain. There are two methods can be used to start up a state corporation. First one is Common Parliament Act and the second one is Special Parliament Act. Common Parliament Act means establishing a state corporation by using an existing Parliament Act, and Special Parliament Act means introducing a new act to the Parliament to start up a new corporation. As an example, Consumer Affairs Authority Act number 9 of 2003. Part B of this question, state corporations are started in different names. Give examples for such other names with examples. Corporations are carried out in different types of different names. As an example, statutory board, authority, institute, bureau, Ceylon Electricity Board, Road Development Authority, Sri Lanka Standard Institute, Foreign Employment Bureau. These are the different type of names that can be given under corporations. Right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 6, Roman number 5A. What is the specialty of the legal personality of a state department? Explain. No legal personality, that means sue and to be sued cannot be done by the name of the department. A citizen cannot file a case against a state department. If you need to file a case against a certain department, you have to use the name, official designation of the respective head of the department. The special thing is no legal personality for a state department. Part B, what differences can be seen in between a state company and state corporation? State corporations are incorporated, state companies are incorporated under the Companies Act, and state corporations are established under Common Parliament Act or Special Parliament Act. State companies, their motive is profit motive, but state corporations carry out its business activities with the motive of welfare. Through this set of questions, I discussed subject areas, business interaction between government and various forms of business organizations. These are the different types of check-in essay type questions in relation to those parts. I hope this will be helpful to you, and I'll back with another set of questions. Thank you very much.